Hey, this is probably going to be a short stream. I got my other co-host. Him both cats. I think they're in on it together. Both cats come in here and they don't like me having the controller. So he's like trying to bite the he's trying to bite the cable for the controller. He will not just lay down and be good. It just they so I'm gonna have a short stream. I got horses over here. I haven't built an official barn, but I got horses over here. I got a couple places. I've got different breeds in different places. Um, Hey, just lay down. Yeah, you can just lay down. I don't have a script prepared. I didn't. Okay, what the? Oh, okay. Um, I I don't know if I did this on. I know I posted something on it about on Threads. Uh, there there was something I watched yesterday. I haven't watched it completely, but I I don't I don't think I'm not remembering it, but I don't remember anything about these things called the octopus murders. Um, I just I don't. Uh, the But it really freaked me out because, and again, if they're lying to me, I'm lying to you, but I'm not doing it on purpose. But they were talking about like it went back a ways. So it would have been around, maybe Nixon or Ford. I don't think it quite went back to LBJ, but and I'm not sure I can get my head wrapped around it. And I was doing other stuff, so I was only half listening to it. I'm probably gonna have to watch it and just be dedicated to watching it. If I do it in bed, I'm probably gonna fall asleep. But they and I think the video was recently put on YouTube. I don't know if they posted from somewhere else, but they were talking about a journalist being murdered. That was part of it. And when they started it out, it's I don't know if it was something that was made for it or it appeared to be maybe legitimate, but it could have been something where they're recreating it. So they recreate something, they made it. There was a guy. This cost him. I think I saw him in an interview, and I don't watch the show. I don't think I think it's on a channel I can't get, so I couldn't watch it even if I wanted to. But it was a Republican guy, and it's the circus or something like that. And it was something that started out, they were supposed to do it for like one election, and after it was over, they they kept it going, and then they just recently ended it within the last year, I think. And the hang on. Oh, hang on. I'm not gonna do the. I want to make sure. Oh, you can hang out, buddy. I just gotta get this turned on. Gotta make sure my mic's working. Okay. Come on. You come on up. Yeah, come on up. I just had to get something turned on to make sure my mic was working. But they they this reporter, and I don't know who it was. I think it was a reporter that was investigating it, and they called someone. They go, yeah, I was told I could talk to you. You had information. Well, and the guy seemed surprised. And he goes, well, what do you want to talk about? He goes, well, I want to ask you about the octopus murders. And the guy, I don't know if legally it's a threat, but he made a comment because apparently a reporter, and I think it happened either back in the 1980s when I was in high school or earlier, or it was before that. They told you, I just can't remember. But he goes, well, do you think so-and-so committed suicide? And he goes, well, that's what I was hoping you could tell me. He goes, well, he didn't. And he basically told him, if you keep screwing around, you're going to get yourself killed. And I just want to put this into a bigger picture. When you look at the JFK thing, one of the documentaries I watched last year on it, or at the very first part of this year, it basically said, and normally I wouldn't believe it, but in the documentary they had Walter Cronkite talking. It was something shot before he had died, and like, just on its own, a girl claiming to be hell, even if she had video of her servicing him, she was one of Johnson's girlfriends, Vice President and then President Johnson. Well, she claimed that she had heard she was talking to him, and he zipped up, or he either finished and got done, or he never got started. And he left, and it sounded like that was the end of their relationship. But she made a comment that he was involved. She heard he was involved with the people that killed Kennedy, and this is what she said. He looked at her after he got his clothes back on or whatever, and he looked, he goes, and he sounded like he was pissed. I wasn't involved, but then he got kind of quiet, and he goes, but I know most of the people that were. And then Walter Cronkite said and again, this guy, maybe he was nuts, maybe he was gone senile, I don't know, it was later in his life, but he sounded rational. And he said he was talking to Nixon near the end when he was close to death, and he was in bed, and when Walter Cronkite came in to see him, the subject came up, and he said that we had a Murder Inc. Working out of the islands. And Murder Inc. is a Jewish, it's a Jewish murder for hire outfit. And you can look it up. It's in the history of the United States. But he was saying the government had a Murder Inc. And it was being run out of one of the tropical islands that we get. So again, I just gotta say, just out of the blue, I'm dropping this in. My call to action, reach out to the government, try and get legalized assisted suicide, try and get it legal. But, I'm going to forego the one for UFO disclosure. If you can write the president, let him know that he really needs to declassify everything in the JFK assassination. I'm going to mention this again. If I don't forget, if I can keep it all together, I'm going to mention it again. But I got to go and see if I can adjust the timer on this so it doesn't take. We got to get the thing, because I mean that was I hadn't seen that one, boy. Again, I don't think I've forgotten. I don't think I had seen that documentary before, but This was a little bit like that. It was just shocking. I don't get shocked that much anymore. It takes a lot to do it. And the but and again, I might watch this. I might watch this and take notes on it. Again, if they're lying to me, I'm lying to you. But it was good. It was really, really good. And like when they were talking about it, they had one guy that was he was the guy who got fired by Nixon because he refused to fire the special prosecutor. It came up, well, yeah, he was my boss, and it was it was early in the computer days. Like one guy who was involved in it or had something to do with it, he said, well, when he came to the FBI, there were no computers on desk. They were not up to speed. And he goes, you had people that they would meet at the water cooler or pass each other by in the hallway, and that was the first time, you know, they found out that their client or their subject was on trial for another case. And that's stuff they should know so they can coordinate, you know. And it was there was stovepiping, but it was because they didn't have computers. And one guy, and I think he was either FBI or DOJ. Like if I do this, I'll try and do it and get accurate, at least somewhat accurate notes. But one guy said that he was given a cold case, and he started looking into. He was given a cold case, and he looked into it, and they wanted one guy prosecuting. He was involved in these murders, allegedly. And I don't understand if he prosecuted and they let him off the hook, or if he was prosecuting him and they let him off the hook. But he basically said, you know, the word came down from on high, from the leadership, to let him go. And that right there, that sounds like the way the DOJ is treating the January 6th terrorists. The leadership, they haven't brought one of them to trial in Congress and others. I mean, the people at the state level are largely going on. The states are having to prosecute, that the government isn't doing it. And it sounds like what Weissman or whatever, Jeffrey Epstein, that's the guy. It sounds a lot like what was going to him, because I remember hearing that there was somebody who said that, well, when he heard, because I don't think it was his case, but he was involved in it. He was where he worked, it was active. And he said, well, we heard he was connected with intelligence, and his dad was Mossad. You know, I don't know. I really don't know, but fucking A, that was just creepy as fuck. And then somebody said, well, they go, this was just one tentacle. Like what the story that they're talking about, they go, that's just one tentacle. That's what it was called, the octopus. And they started talking about the effort to impede a president to get Ronald Reagan elected, and then there was some talk of this back. I didn't follow politics, but I even followed that back when Reagan first came in the 79 to 80. I was like 9 or 10 years old, and but there was talk that Jimmy Carter was being obstructed in getting some hostages freed in or around the Middle East, and like he had these operations going to get them, and then somebody would come out and leak. They'd leak it so it wasn't safe to go anymore, and they would put it off, and then Reagan got elected, and they were just handed over. And so it really You know, it really looked bad. It's kind of like some of the stuff Trump did or some of the stuff Weissman did, where you can't figure out how they get away with it. You know, some of the stuff the Republicans do, you can't figure out how they get away with it. It's like somebody's just turning a blind eye to it, and that was weird. That was absolutely fucking weird. And then I watched a video. I don't know. I think it's clickbait, but the story was compelling. But it's the channel is Matter, Matteer, and it's something has emerged in Alaska, and the U.S. government is blah blah blah, and I watched most of it, and there's another video I might watch. I'll do them both together if I got time. But it claims, you know, it's like, oh, something has emerged in Alaska, and I watched it, and nothing about that. It seems like it's clickbait that something has emerged. And then there's, oh, here's the other one. It's something, U.S. just shut down Antarctica after drone captured. And again, that one there, I got a feeling that's eternity. I got a feeling that if you watch it, there will not be one mention about a drone capturing something. Either pictures or material. But it would still be a good story. Even without the fucking, I mean, it seems to me they were lying. I mean, they call it clickbait. I'm gonna just fucking call it what it is. It seems like it would still be a pretty good story, even if they didn't lie about it. Maybe they won't get as many viewers, but at least it'd be honest. But they had this guy, and I think I've got the two stories mixed up. Because this guy apparently met with the Earth Science or the Earth Files girl, Molden Howell. I can't remember what her first name is, but Molden Howell. She's a UFO reporter. I think she's pretty good. She might have gone to shit as she got older, but I was really a fan of hers growing up. She's like George Knapp. She goes back to like the 80s at least. And I think she's really considered an expert at cattle mutilations. But she used to do, I don't know, maybe she's gone off the deep end, but she used to be really good, and I don't know. But they had this guy who was a military expert, and they claim, well, he wants us to shield his identity. Well, either the guy is not credible, he's an idiot, or the government isn't worried about him, because they didn't cover him up that good at all. You could still make out facial features. It's like, oh my God, they're not. Now, Linda Moulton Howell, that's it, Linda Moulton Howell. She might have taken care of him. But this video, and maybe it wasn't him, because they were showing a lot of other video. They were like showing movie clips and other stuff to fill the void. I at least play Minecraft, you know. I don't have anything that I can show you, at least not yet. But he was talking about, you know, he should have been a lot more general about his background, because he's like, well, I was military intelligence. Well, that's a narrow field. That narrows the search radius. And you know, and the thing is, I don't care if you're gonna be, you know, like, I don't care what you're going to do, but like if it comes out he's lying about who and what he was, well, then that's a credibility issue. You got to be like Bob Lazar, where you come forward and you admit, well, he's asked us to hide his identity and his features and all that, and he didn't try to claim that his name was in it. He goes, he told us to call him Dennis, so that you knew he was but everything else was going to be true, but he was hiding his identity. But he said he worked at the area. Well, you have to give that so you can have credibility for you were first-hand witness. But he didn't tell him what room. But again, you've narrowed the field down. You're going to be pretty easy they can probably find you. But that was the best he could do. This guy doesn't just say he's in the military. He says he was intelligence. Well, that unnecessarily narrows it down. And then he talks about how he went and lived in Alaska for 35 years. Again, if it's lying, that's a credibility issue. But if it isn't lying, well, you can now... oh, excuse me. You can now take the people in intelligence and find one that's lived in Alaska for 30 to 35 years. You're really narrowing it. There's probably like a dozen that have done that were intel, so you might as well have left the urine sample. You might as well have done an open interview. So I don't know if it's credible or not, but he was talking about, I think this was the one. He was talking about, and I just started hearing about this, that there was a black pyramid. I kind of took a break from this for at least a decade or two. But there's a black pyramid in Alaska. And again, I don't know if it's true or not. He's lying to me, I'm lying to you. I'm just not doing it on purpose. But he mentioned that he looked it up, and on the military survey maps, there was a blank spot. They certified the whole state, and it was a blank spot. And it was right where this supposed pyramid was. And I don't know. I really don't know. But they made all these claims. Well, and I think this is the one. They found evidence of. I think they found evidence of humans that lived like 11 or 12,000 years ago. They were like infants. I think it was either the Antarctica or the Alaska, but they found a civilization, and they claim there was an energy source. Well, the ones in Egypt, the Great Pyramids, those might have been they said those things might have been an energy source, because they found out that one of the pyramids had a water source that when it was being used, there was a water source that was underneath the pyramid, and it might have acted as an energy source, because it's the quartz crystal that the rocks are made out of, something's made out of in there. If they're under pressure, they emit electricity. And as the water hit it, it might have put pressure on and off on the quartz. It might have been a passive energy source. And it's like, wow. Wow. And they, I can't remember where I was going with, I'm not having a bad day, but I'm not having a great one either. But, because I said I'd bring that up again, the releasing the JFK stuff. I can't remember what I was going to do, but anyways. But, and then there's the talk of, there's the internal structure. If you put two chemicals, one in one in the other, it might shoot a beam out of the. I don't know. I'm not an engineer. I don't even play one in front of a New Jersey porn store. like like Rudy Giuliani does to be a lawyer, but it's just unbelievable. It is absolutely just unbelievable. And they yeah, it's bugging me. I can't get something else I wanted to bring that up in. But I don't want to let it go, but I can't remember. Maybe it'll come back. I don't know. But the so they got that, and then the other one is Antarctica. Something is happening, and again, there's enough interesting stuff going on there. Again, you might not get as many people, but once you lose your credibility with me, it's shot. It just is. And they made the claim that something happened in Antarctica. Well, that one I haven't watched as much of, but I got a feeling that nothing in the video will match the fucking claims they made in the title of the video, and it's just shit, But the thing is, that one there might have some interesting stuff too, but I don't know. I just find it interesting. Well, I'm gonna work on my horses a little bit more. I'm gonna as soon as I can this week, I will do the notes on that video, and I'll get it up. There was another one I found. It's from Melinda Moulton Howell's Earth Files. I might watch that too. I don't know if I'm gonna get time to, but I might watch that too, so I can take notes on it, because that's something. If I had that Gaia or wherever it is, that is something that I would really like to check out if it was free. Well, I finally got a chance to watch like an hour or two of it, and then I'll be able to judge her better for what she's done. But peace out and have a good day.